Hey, what is up everyone? Danny and Alex. Today in our NoGi Jiu-Jitsu video, we're going to cover some half guard positioning and I'm going to show you guys some additional tricks and sweeps you can do from that position. So check it out. All right, so the first thing we're going to cover for the half guard position is our positioning of the half guard. All right, so we know that half guard just simply means locking one of the opponent's legs. All right, so he's half mount, or we can call it half guard. But we also know that we also want to cover some distance here. So the first thing I'm going to do is understanding how I'm going to lock the legs. All right, so a lot of times if I'm going to have a triangle position as such, this is a great position. This is half guard right now. Okay, another way of playing half guard is simply bring my knee to his hip right here. So I'm just going to lock the knee right onto that hip bone. Notice how I'm still crossing my legs here. So here I had my foot on the ground. Sometimes with the foot on the ground, if he's leaning too forward right here, what I can do is also bring my toes underneath here, just as such. All right, so lift his foot a little bit so I remove some of his gravity, his traction from using the toes on the mat. This is another position to play half guard, okay? Sometimes I might be completely flat, all right? So from here, when I'm flat, I'll recross and I'll bring the opposite foot to stretch his leg as such. This is referred to as the lockdown half guard, okay? Now, if I have the regular triangle here, I also want to make sure that I stay on my side and I cover my arms as such, all right? So I'm framing here, covering and preventing this arm from wrapping my neck. Now, sometimes I bring my knee up as I discussed. I bring this right on the outside of his hip bone, not across as such here, all right? This is no good. If he puts all the weight onto my leg, he's smashing. He's going to pass. I also expose my heel and my leg for leg locks. So I just want my knee onto the outside of his hip bone and I'm still locking here or locking as such, whichever you prefer. A lot of times because you'll already have this position with your foot, just simply raise and bring your knee right onto the hip bone. This doesn't look like much, but if he tries to put the weight here, look, it's very difficult. He's going to have to clear that shield. Speaking of shields, I have another position for my half guard where I'm going to bring this a little bit higher here. I bring my knee to the shoulder. All right, notice when I use my regular half guard, I need to use my elbow, my forearm as such to frame him. Now, by having my leg here, which is much stronger, I can support and now have both arms to try to see where I'm going to sweep or attack. All right, so a lot of times when you're here, you have your foot dangling or you can have your foot up as such. All right, a little bit higher, almost like an underhook, okay? Now, another position we can do for the half guard is I'll keep this leg right inside here, but I'll also bring my foot inside. This is also referred as the half butterfly. Okay, and now from here, of course, I have my butterfly guard or my seated guard position with the underhooks. And then we can do the same thing on the opposite side where I go butterfly here. And now I can go half butterfly on this side. And now if I bring it up, I also have my shield here. I can have my Z guard or the low shield. And now we can lock it down with a triangle, bring our foot behind his foot. If his toes are on the mat, we stretch him out and elevate a little bit. That way there it forces more weight onto his knee and he doesn't have his toes on the mat to try have that gravity to push into me. Now, speaking of the arm positioning, if we just turn here a little bit, Alex, no matter which type of half guard or leg positioning you're going to be playing, it's very important to understand what you're going to do with your arms now. So I already discussed that you don't want to be flat. You're going to try to stay onto your side. We covered this in a previous video. Now, the basic form of using our frames is going to be right here on his upper body. A lot of times I like to just teach that the palm is going to go to this shoulder and this elbow is going to take care of the opposite shoulder if he comes too close. Okay, now this arm here, the bottom arm, is going to be monitoring anywhere from his bicep here to the wrist, all right, with a C-clamp. Opposite side, doesn't really matter. Sometimes what we can also do is just cover our forehead. If he tries to grab your neck here, he can't do so, okay? Now, we can also work entries. With the half guard entries, once we understand the leg positioning, is we have to understand what we're going to do next. So I have an entry right here on the near side, okay? I also have an entry right here. I also have an entry right here, all right? So I need to understand these entries. All of these point of entries are going to allow me to attack sweeps or submissions, okay? All right, so now we took a look at the arm positioning. Now I can understand where my points of entries are going to be, all right? So from here, what I'm going to do for my first position is bring up my shield into the equation, all right? I like to use this shield right onto his armpit right here, okay? So it's pushing onto this shoulder. If he tries to fight it, my legs are much stronger than my arms, okay? I'm going to use this point of entry to make him try to push this leg. As he tries to push the leg now, what I can do is just grab onto his wrist and make him post to the mat. As I post him to the mat, I keep this frame behind his elbow so he can't come back. Now that's gonna give me the time to enter, come up onto my elbow and hug onto his waist. Notice how I always post up on my palm so that way I have elevation against him. As I can post most of my weight to my palm, it allows me to bring my hips off the mat, rotate that to my knee, and now I can start to attack the back, for example, okay? Another great attack from here, from the half guard position, is once I have my shield here, I can also use the near side arm to control the wrist, and the opposite one is going to cup as an arm drag position. As I bring my shield up, I'll arm drag in front of my body, make him post here and come up. Now notice when I got to this position here, my chest is controlling his shoulder this time, okay? Now from this position, if I'm high enough, because I'm posted onto my elbow, it's gonna be harder to rotate against the back. I know the opponent's gonna try to fight back. So in this position, as the first one came in, I was able to get to here. In this position, I only got to my elbow. So once I drag here, as I try to bring his arm across, I'm only able to control using my chest muscles. So I'm gonna shift out, I'm gonna use this one here and cup to his leg instead. Now a lot of times as I know he's trying to return, I'll use this arm, I'll cup the inside of the opposite knee here. And now I'm gonna wrestle up and just go for a double leg position instead. All right, so we're talking about points of entry. Now we're gonna attack on this side. So one of them is over his arm. So as I'm in this position here, I control his wrist here. Now, this is why I like the palm down here. The palm up is great just because now it's harder for him to remove. But a lot of times, to counter this, he's going to bring his knee across my forearm and boom, I'm stuck, all right? So it's very important to control top, all right? Now, if he brings this over, look, as I'm coming up, I beat him to it, and it allows me to post onto my elbow. And now look, I'll wrap, and from here, attack a Kimura, okay? Let's look at it one more time. I'm covering here with my shield, all right? As I grab his wrist, I come up, I wrap here. Now, when I get the Kimura position, although it's able to finish here if I keep the leg, a lot of times he's resisting by hiding the arm underneath his belly as such. Okay, right here, exactly. So if he tries to hide the arm here, I can't pull it out. So what I'm going to do is keep this position here, escape my hips. As I move my hips over, look, I'll bring this leg over and trap his waist, and I can pull and finalize. Again, from the shield position here, what I can also do is sweep, okay? So I can follow my knee. As I'm in this position here, I'll use the elbow, and it's almost like as I kick this leg away, it'll also draw my arm behind it, just as such, okay? Once I'm in this position, before I can adjust myself, notice how I didn't let go of this arm. A lot of common mistakes are when you let go of the arm too quickly and you're thinking of coming up, you're exposing your neck. Boom. Now he's gonna flatten you out. Okay? To make matters worse, he might even expect it and he's gonna wrap a guillotine. Boom, and he'll fall right into it, okay? And now you're gonna be forced to tap. So as you're coming up, it's always important to monitor this arm. As I'm coming up, I'm still monitoring here. That way there, if he tries to attack my neck or even flatten me out, it's gonna be much more challenging for him. And now I'll adjust my position. Once I remove this hook now, I'll adjust slightly. And now he can't catch me or even flatten me out. It's time to let go. I'll post onto the mat, gain some elevation. Notice when I post on the mat, I'm able to lift my hips, then rotate my knee. My right knee is gonna rotate away from him, keeping the hug against his waist. From here, now this is what we refer to as the dogfight position. He can't escape this way because I'm trapping his leg, and now he's forced to only do one of two things. Try to face me to try to recover guard, which is still challenging for him, or he's gonna try, if I have a slight space, to bring a whizzer into the equation as such, all right? But I know these reactions. I'm used to them. So from this position here, what I'm gonna do is shuck a little bit higher to remove that hook, make him post on the mat, control the waist, or even move myself higher once again to attack the back. All right, lastly, we're gonna cover a few sweeps. So as I'm coming into my last position from here, I use the point of entry with my shield to come on up. Now from here, as I start to move, I rotate to the side. I wanna start to move to my knees, but now, because I'm still sitting onto my butt, as I wanna post to my right knee, I feel the pressure. I'm coming up here and I feel the pressure. And the opponent's stronger than you. Sometimes they just drive their weight. Every time I come up, I'll feel the pressure. So instead of forcing against the force, what I'm going to do as I feel this pressure, I'm just gonna let go of my post and go for his far side ankle pick. As I deep dive here, I'm able to rotate and roll him over. So once again, I came up to this position. I'm able to remove the hook and rotate to here. I'm able to get to my hip, but I can't get to my knee. So as I start to force here, I feel him pressuring him. So I'm going to use my post. I'll deep dive here. Now, instead of rolling him to this direction, I'll feel the force. And as I try to roll here, his hand is in the way. So now what I'm going to do is ankle pick with my foot, drag his foot here, and trap it with the opposite arm. As I double trap his foot now, I can start to wrap his knee and collapse him to this side instead and go around his legs. All right, for the last technique I want to cover here is just going around the opponent and sweeping him using what I like to call the shovel hook. All right, so we're just going to use our arm like a shovel. As I got to here, I'm shoveling here. But now as I get to this position here, I'm able to get to the dogfight position. As I start to turn, I rotate here, he escapes this slightly. So now I didn't trap this. His knee is free. So, but I have a tight waist here. I'm gonna use this one just like a shovel and wrap his hamstring. As I get to here, I'll collapse back down. I go here, roll him here, back to the mat, trap his knees and pass his guard. All right, guys, so there you have it. Some techniques you can use in NoGi Jiu-Jitsu from the half guard, from the knee shield. I loved playing this game. It's almost like a lazy guard. You can chill a little bit, frame your opponent, make them force a mistake, capitalize on a sweep or a submission attack. Hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Leave us a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to our channel for more content. We'll catch you
in the next video.
Take care.